What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's Daniel, and welcome back to our video. Today, I'll be doing my official 2026 NASCAR Cup Series predictions. For the 2026 season, I got 26 predictions going into today's video. So anyways, let's go ahead and just jump straight into it. Prediction number 1. Kyle Larson will win at least 3 NASCAR Cup Series races in 2026. Since joining Hendrick Motorsports every year since 2021, Kyle Larson has scored at least 3 victories. So I think he's going to continue having that streak where I think Kyle Larson is going to continue winning races. I know it's been a little bit since Larson won, but I think Larson's going to get back to victory lane. I think this 5 team's going to continue having great speed. I think Larson scores at least 3 wins in 2026. Prediction number 2. Chase Elliott will win 2 Cup Series races in 2026. In 2025, Chase Elliott scored exactly 2 wins in the NASCAR Cup Series. I think Chase Elliott is also going to do that once again in 2026. He's not going to win a ton of races, but I think he's going to get a couple 2026. I think he'll score a few victories this season. Prediction number 3. Connor Zilisch will win a Cup Series race in 2026. I think Connor Zilisch is going to have some struggles early in the season, but by the end of the year, I think Connor Zilisch is going to figure out. I think he likely gets a win at the Charlotte Roval at the end of the year, so I think Shane Van Gisbergen is going to be really good on road courses in 2026 like he's been in the 2025. But I think Connor Zilisch, despite the fact there's going to be a lot of pressure on him, I think he's going to be really solid by the end of the year. I think he will score victory in Cup next season. Prediction number 4. Junior Motorsports will enter more NASCAR Cup Series races than just the Daytona 500 in 2026. Junior Motorsports, of course, did announce they'll run the Daytona 500 in 2026, but I think they're going to enter more races than just the Daytona 500. Would not be surprised if they see them run the Brickyard 400 or maybe Talladega or something like that later in the year. I think they're going to enter more races. There was talk of them maybe doing some more starts in 25. I think they're going to enter more races. I think they show up a little bit more in 26. Prediction number 5. Kyle Busch will win 1 race in 2026. Despite the fact that Kyle Busch has not won since 2023, I think this A-team is going to get back to their winning ways like they were early in 2023. I think Jim Pullman is going to lead this team having a win before the end of the season, for Kyle Busch might not be back at this team after the year. I think Kyle Busch will get a win and score a victory with RCR, and I think his team gets back to victory lane. Prediction number 6. Brad Keselowski wins 1 race in 2026. I think Brad Keselowski is also going to get back to victory lane. He had a really good ending to 2025. The 6 team showed a lot more pace and speed in the second half of the year. So because of that, I think Brad Keselowski and this 6 team are going to bring a ton more speed and show a lot more progress next season. I think Brad gets back to victory lane. It's going to be his last full-time year in the 6. I think Brad will basically get a win next year. Prediction number 7. Daniel Suarez finishes outside the top 20 in the NASCAR Cup Series points. The last couple of years, the 7 car has finished outside the top 20 in the points. It's actually finished outside the top 30 the last couple of years. I think Suarez is really not going to run that well. He's not much better than Justin Haley and Corey LaJoie, in my opinion. So I think Suarez will struggle a little bit this season. I don't think he's going to have the pace and speed to be a major factor, and he might be out of the ride at the end of next year. Prediction number 8. Shane Van Gisbergen will win 4 road course races in 2026. I don't see Shane Van Gisbergen winning every road course race. I think all the Cup guys are going to start figuring it out. And I mentioned Connor Zilisch because I think Zilisch is going to have a really good chance and opportunity of picking up a win before the end of the year. But I think SVG will be solid and fast. I just don't see him going out there winning every road course race next year. But I think it'll be really good. And I think this 97 team, will show some really strong pace and really good speed in the 2026 NASCAR Cup season. Prediction number 9. Corey Heim makes at least 5 Cup Series starts in 2026. In 2025, I believe Corey Heim made 3 or 4 NASCAR Cup Series starts. I think he's going to make at least 5 this year. His schedule has not been confirmed at this time with 2311 Racing. They're still working on that at this point. But I do think Corey Heim is going to make some starts this year. Corey Heim is expected to make starts in Cup. He'll make them with 2311 or Legacy Motor Club in that 3rd car. I think he'll be back behind the wheel making more starts in the 2026 NASCAR Cup season. Prediction number 10. There will be 3 photo finishes in the NASCAR Cup Series in 2026. I believe there were no photo finishes in 2025 outside of maybe the Atlanta finish where they were under caution. I think there will be more this year, though. I think there were, I believe, 3 or 4 in 2024. I think we're going to get back to having some closer racing this year, some closer finishes, maybe as super speedways, maybe as short tracks, maybe road courses, who knows? But I think we're going to start seeing some more photo finishes once again and get back to that standard in 2026. Prediction number 11. Bubba Wallace will win 2 Cup Series races in 2026. I think Bubba Wallace, for the first time in his career, is going to win multiple races in a season. This 23 team had a lot of speed in 2025, and they should have won more than one race in this season. He was the strongest 2011 racing driver, had a really strong car. I think that relationship between Bubba and Charles is going to work very well next year. I think this team is going to be fast and strong. I think he will score a few victories in 2026. Prediction number 12. Joey Logano will win 2 NASCAR Cup Series races in 2026. Remember, it's an even year, so Joey Logano, every time we're in an even year, he's always a major factor and contender. I think the 22 team will bring more speed in 2026 than they did in 25, considering consistency is going to matter a lot more next year with the playoff format or championship format that we have. I think Logano's going to get back to winning some races. I think he'll score a few victories in 2026. Prediction number 13. Kasey Kahne will make a Cup Series start in 2026. Kasey Kahne is currently rumored to be making some starts in the Craftsman Truck Series, potentially with Kaulig and the Ram team next year. And I think Kasey Kahne will make a Cup start at some point this year. Whether it is with a Kaulig third car potential or some other organization, I think he'll be back in the Cup Series in some way, shape, or form, making some starts next year. I think he makes his first Cup Series starts in 2018. I think he'll get behind the wheel this year. Prediction number 14. Carl Edwards and Kurt Busch will be on the Amazon Prime broadcast in 2026. While nothing's been confirmed on the Amazon Prime coverage for next year, Carl Edwards was on the Amazon Prime coverage all year for the pre-race show, and Kurt Busch did some stuff at Pocono with Amazon. I think both will be main people on the broadcast team next year. I think they both get the chance to work together. They both, of course, were teammates at one point at Roush. I think they'll be on the same broadcast together in 2026. Prediction number 15. Red Bull will sponsor at least 10 NASCAR Cup Series races for both Shane Van Gisbergen and Connor Zilisch combined. Red Bull sponsored, I believe, about 5 or 6 races altogether last year for both Connor and Shane. I think that's going to be up next year. Red Bull has told Justin Marks recently that they're going to looking to be up and do more races next season. I think you see them on the car a little more next year on both the 88 and the 97 in 2026. Prediction number 16. Denny Hamlin wins multiple races in the NASCAR Cup Series in 2026. Despite the fact that Denny Hamlin maybe was frustrated with the way 2025 ended, I think Hamlin's going to get back to winning a few races. I don't see him winning 6 races like he did in 2025, but I think Denny Hamlin's going to have some really strong pace and speed. I think Joe Gibbs Racing still will be one of the strongest teams and organizations. I think Denny Hamlin will get multiple wins this year. Prediction number 17. Spire Motorsports scores at least 15 top 10 finishes combined in the Cup Series in 2026. Spire Motorsports last year had quite a few top 10s in Cup. I think his team is even going to be stronger. I know I mentioned Suarez won't be a major factor. I think he gets a couple top 10s this year. I think that Carson Osbar is going to be a lot stronger this season. I think Michael McDowell will even be stronger than he was in 2025. I think Spire gets back to winning races. I think there'll be major threats in 2026. Prediction number 18. NASCAR will announce that Circuit Gilles Villeneuve will be on the Cup Series schedule in 2027. There's been a lot of rumors about NASCAR going to Canada and Circuit Gilles Villeneuve for the last couple years. The rumors they could even do it for 2027. I think that's actually going to get announced. I think that track will put on good racing if it's on the schedule. I think it will be on the schedule, and I think it will be added for 2027. Prediction number 19. Kyle Busch will announce he will not be returning to Rick Strolls Racing at the conclusion of 2026. Like I mentioned, there's a lot of talk that Kyle Busch won't be back with RCR. I think he's going to announce that at some point in 2026 that he's not going to be returning to RCR after the year. I just don't see him sticking around. I think he likely ends up at Spire Motorsports, but I think 2026 will be the last year for Kyle Busch at RCR. Prediction number 20. Chase Briscoe will win in 2026. I'm not exactly sure how many races he'll get next year, but I think that this team has been a lot stronger. They were really good in the second half, one of the strongest teams in the second half of 2025. Made the championship 4, scored 3 wins. I wouldn't be surprised if Briscoe has a 3 to 4 win season. I think he's going to win at least 1 or 2 for sure, but I think Briscoe and this number 19 team are going to be strong and will be going to victory lane. Prediction number 21. At least 3 drivers will make their Cup Series debuts in 2026. I think you're going to see a lot of drivers surprisingly get up and do some Cup stuff. I wouldn't be surprised if you see a drivers like in lower series, like potentially someone out there like, I don't know, maybe like a Caden Honeycutt press make his Cup debut. I would not be shocked if a guy like Scott Dixon comes over, Brock Feeney races, but I think you're going to see a few guys from lower series come up. I also wouldn't be surprised if you see Carson Clough or Roger Kurth make their debut, but I think you're going to see some guys get the opportunity to race in the Cup Series. Prediction number 22, Ryan Preece will score at least 10 top 10 finishes in the Cup Series in 2026. Ryan Preece, I think, had, I believe, 11 or 12 or 13 top 10s this year. I think he's going to up that number or be close to that number again because that 16 was really strong. I think that RFK is going to be even quicker this season. I think there's going to be potential for this organization to be good. I do think that Ryan Preece will be really solid and really strong in the 2026 season. Prediction number 23, Josh Berry finishes outside of the top 20 in the Cup Series points. In 2025, Josh Berry, if we went by full season standards, he would have finished outside the top 20 points. Now, some of that was stuff on Josh Berry. Some of that was on the team and organization. But I think Berry will be okay. I just think with the competition being close, you're going to have to be really strong. I don't see this 21 team replicating what they did in 2025. So because of that, I think they're going to finish outside the top 20 and show a little bit of unfortunate inconsistency. Prediction number 24. There will be less than half the Cup Series races that will have under 2.1 billion viewers throughout the year. With a lot of cable races next year, with less people watching near the end of the season, especially on USA, with a lot of races even going under 2 million this year on some networks, I think you're going to see some struggles when it comes to the ratings in 2026. I think there'll be less people tuning in, which is kind of crazy to say that there will be a lot more races potentially under 2 million. It wouldn't surprise me to even get half that are under 2 million, but I think you're going to see a lot less people tune in 2026. Prediction number 25. Alex Bowman will score one victory in the NASCAR Cup Series in 2026. I think Alex Bowman's going to get his first win since Chicago Street Course. I think it's going to likely come at a super speedway in the second half of the year. I think the 48 team, I was very much interested to see if I was going to pick them to win. I think Bowman will go to victory lane in 2026. I think his team will bring some good pace and speed out to the track. I think Alex Bowman will score a win and score a victory in the NASCAR Cup Series this upcoming year. And my 26th and final prediction is my Daytona 500 winner prediction. Now, if you've already watched my winner predictions, you already know who I'm picking to win. But the driver I'm picking to win the Daytona 500 in 2026 is going to be Ryan Blaney. I think Ryan Blaney is going to win the Daytona 500 this upcoming season. Ryan Blaney's been really good at super speedways. He won the last time we were at Daytona. He's got 3 or 4 wins at Talladega Super Speedway. He's got multiple wins in the summer race at Daytona. He's due to win the Daytona 500. I think he's going to cement his legacy as a driver in the sport by finally getting it done. I'm going to go with Ryan Blaney to win the Daytona 500 in 2026. So, those are my official 2026 NASCAR Cup Series predictions. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, notifications on, so if I win a video, it does go live on my channel. Follow me through Facebook and Instagram, and support me on Patreon as well. Let's get some more of that, and comment your thoughts below and your predictions below for 2026. What are your predictions? Let me know them in the comments below. Tomorrow on the channel, we're going to have the 2027 NASCAR Cup Series silly season predictions on the channel. And if any other major news breaks, we'll discuss it live on the channel. Tuesday, we're probably going to be doing a team preview on the channel more than likely. Then Wednesday, we'll have a NASCAR news video wrapping up everything for the last week or so. We're also going to have a lot of coverage on the lawsuits. We're getting really close to the trial happening for the lawsuit between NASCAR 24/11 Racing, Spire Motorsports. We're going to talk about more of those text conversations that came out throughout the weekend. We got other videos coming out. We're going to have Daytona 500 intros, an early look at that coming out very soon. And we'll also do an early dive look into the Cup lineup for 2026 in the near future. We got content coming on people like Haley Deegan, Shaman Gisberg, and Carl Edwards, Kurt Busch, Kyle Busch, Bubba Wallace, Ross Chastain, Sheldon Creed, Sam Mayer, Frankie Muniz, Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott, Ryan Preece, Brad Keselowski, Cletus Afron, Dodge, Ram, Carson, Quaffle, Sam Mayer, Sheldon Creed, Kasey Kahne, Tony Stewart, Robbie Gordon, among other things. Will Brown, Brad Finney, Cam Walsh, talk about all this kind of stuff on the channel in the coming days and coming weeks as well. So anyways, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's episode. I'll see you guys next time for more great, awesome NASCAR content and other motorsports content on the channel like this. Take care, everybody.